The good say, what's up, guys? What is going on? Hope everybody's doing well. Super, super late upload, I know. Chelsea versus Wolves, 3-0. Pretty basic game where Chelsea dominated this entire game, and Wolves were just seeing out the season, before they get relegated. They played like a team that knows they're going to get relegated. Simple as that. They had several chances. One of them, Larson, that man could have dragged it, shot with his left, ends up stumbling, and he just completely stopped the whole play. And there were other chances too. If I'm not mistaken, Mitsu, that ended up having pretty much an open wide shot in the second half towards the end, and could have gotten maybe the 3-2, 3-1. Had Larson also scored. So they had chances. They had their chances because Chelsea had way too many bodies going up front because they were dominating pretty much the whole game. Like always, I have to touch on Garnacho. Garnacho, the reason why I wanted to check out this game, because I did also, by the way, check out the Manchester United versus Tottenham game, but I just couldn't bring myself to talk about that game because it was so boring, so football-less. I don't know what that was. Like, no identity, no excitement, no chances created, like barely any chances created. The only thing worth talking about that game was the end. Richarlison thinking that he won the World Cup, World Series, Super Bowl combined, Roland Garros, and any other major tournament in all sports. And then you see the 2-2 from, I think it was DeLit, that ended up tying the game. That was the only thing worthy of talking about that game. So I wanted to watch this Chelsea game because I heard from two sources that Garnacho, out of all people, he ended up having a masterclass performance. So I had to check it out. I was curious. And I was scratching my head that first half because, the first ball he touched, he ended up getting a foul. He ended up actually dribbling past, if that counts as a dribble. I guess it does. And that was it. That first half, that's all he did. Yeah, there were like two centers that he managed to make. He managed to cross the ball. And not his fault. The lap wasn't there. Where was Joao Pedro? Where was Pedro Neto? Where was Caicedo? Where was Enzo? Right? So not entirely his fault. But dude, again, like, you got to do more as a winger than just cross the ball once or twice. Because after that, blocked, losing the ball, as always. Enough to justify his coming out, his being taken out. Maresca, he kept him in, and that was the smartest thing. Obviously, it paid dividends. Does that mean that everybody that has that kind of game should come out? No, because depending on the player that we're talking about and the potential that player has and what he's shown in the past, you don't take him out. Someone like Garnacho, yeah, absolutely, you should have taken out. But okay, he stuck with him and he left him, and he got 2 assists that did make a huge difference in this game. And sure, he ended up keeping the ball, even though he doesn't risk the ball. He ends up not losing balls, is what I'm trying to say. He doesn't lose the ball, so I guess there's that. But somebody that doesn't risk the ball, you would think the least he can do is not lose the ball, since he's not even risking the ball. Does that make sense? And the 2 assists against a team that's relegation ready. You should be playing like that. You should have at least 2 assists, but you should be playing extraordinarily well, which he didn't. He just had 2 assists. That's all he did, and he doesn't lose the ball. I'm massively perplexed at how this guy is a starter. Not just playing for Chelsea, but is a starter. But I guess we got to move past that. Like, I'm the only one that hasn't moved past that, because you're going to see subsequent games when he gets to play, and when he gets to play against teams where it counts, you got to make it count. He doesn't show up. He's not that kind of guy. Now, I think he got called up to the Argentinian national team. I don't know how he's going to play the way he's playing for Chelsea, playing for Argentina. Argentinians, they don't want none of that. They want nothing to do with that. You got to do way, way more, especially as a winger. So much more to stand out and to have a place on the bench for Argentina. So I don't know what's going to happen with this guy. And that's all he did. Honestly, that's all he did. But credit, I guess that's what we applaud now. Somebody that gets 2 assists, very important. Obviously, I'm not saying it doesn't count for nothing. It's big, but you got to do more than that. You got to do more than that. So he had a relatively good game, in my opinion. I think he had an okay game. He had the 2 assists. For everybody else, I know he had a superb game. The 2 sources that I previously mentioned said that he was just amazing, masterclass. Why did I ever doubt him? It's just like one game. It's against a relegation team. It's against a bottom of the table team, a team that knows that, like I said, they're going to be in the relegation. They're playing as if they're going to be relegated. As far as Chelsea, the way they played, the other thing with Chelsea that I noticed is they don't have Cole Palmer's not there. they don't have that leadership. No one's taking the lead in this team. It's like, and I understand the booing. I don't completely agree with all of the booing that that Chelsea fans were doing, because you want to see them create chances, not so much score. Obviously, you want to see them score, but the chances weren't there. It was just distributing the ball. Yeah, they were keeping the ball. I don't know how many touches they had, like 200-300 touches, but nothing was being made. Nothing was being created. Now, I disagree, because like, you got to give that time also. You know, it might be a relegation team, it might be a bottom of the table team, but that takes time. It takes time, and to be a little bit more patient. But it's true. What are they? Third? They're in third place right now. You got to be doing a whole lot better against a team like Wolves right now. Wolves they're hurting. They're hurting, and you should be able to take advantage of that. And it doesn't look like they're playing against a bottom of the table team. You know what I'm saying? So I understand why the booing, but I don't completely agree with that. But they don't have anyone. Enzo is the closest thing you come to somebody being a captain, but he's not fully there. Caicedo, I don't think he has that in him. He just plays like a savage. He's an animal. Like, he's amazing. You know, he's beasting all over the field, but he's not that guy. He's not that guy that's going to make it happen, obviously. Enzo is like kind of the only one, but he has his flaws. He gives up sometimes these very easy balls, and other times, like, you know, he's making these amazing passes to Garnacho. Like in the beginning, he's giving him this beautiful over the shoulder of the defender ball, and Garnacho, you got to score that, man. You got to score that. You know, really good save from the keeper, but right at the keeper also. And then and then there was another one. It was a counter that all he needed to do was give it to Delap, and ends up hitting with plenty of space, by the way. He ends up hitting the defender. So yeah, Enzo, you know, like, is the closest thing. After that, nobody really there. Joao Pedro could be that guy as an interim in the meantime, you know, before Cole Palmer comes back, but I don't really see them. I don't really see them having anybody like that. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. There's nothing else I need to say about them. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.